Last time on We're All Doomed.
The gravy train continued through Spiderhaunt on their mission to find the lost heart of Mack Burton. The trail led to a small hovel in the swamps where Mold Greg, a crazy disabled goblin, and company captured the crew. After waking in his abode, the gravy train tucked their way out of danger while stealthily getting themselves free of their restraints. After a quick spark from Moppet, Fargus was able to use his own food to put down Mold's ogre friend. The party now returns with the prized Port Card Express. Welcome to We're All Doomed. Welcome to We're All Doomed. I'm your host, Chase Slayman, your DM, your game master, your father of ear gravy.
Just tip your head to the side and pour it on in.
That was pretty weak. And this is the gravy train. We have...
I'm Tim Lehman playing Fargus Rawbone, who tonight will be played by the infamous Chris Tucker.
Slices off a piece of that real quick.
Chris Tucker.
All right.
Freeze those knees, chickadees!
It's like he's here with us. I love it. It's like, I love
Chris
it.
Tucker is in the kitchen.
We've been
in my
transported.
kitchen right now. Awesome.
I'm Deanna Lehman, and I play Moppet.
And I'm the ticket taker on the gravy train, Logan Neff or Bleck Moistly.
Over Skype, we have...
This year, Josh Ryan, I'm playing Tamington Addis.
Concert's over. Everyone go home.
This is Sean Lehman playing Tobias Be Funky.
He'd be so funky. All right. Tonight, you guys start heading back to the Dragon of the Black Pool Inn. As you guys reach back into Nettle, the town of Nettle, you do see...
Your word pictures are
my
just amazing.
word pictures.
I'm transformed
Transformed?
to a land of magic.
Transformed? Not like transfixed or...
Nah,
That's how good it
He's
is.
a turtle now.
I'm transformed up in here.
Transmorph.
I'm translucent now.
I'm translucent.
Go outside, man.
As you enter Nettle, you see a standing guard at the front of the Dragon of the Black Pool, Turtle Cuisine Restaurant and Gambling Hall. And you also see a couple of units of troops actually marching around. Looks like they're on patrol. You look a little bit closer and notice that these troops have an emblem on their chest. They're definitely troops of the Goblin King. They have this fire emblem on their left breast. You guys have definitely seen this before, and every single time you ever have encounters with these guards, it never ends up good. So you end up back in Nettle. What would you like to do?
And this isn't at all like normal for this place, right?
It is not.
Did you say where they're the most congregated? Like what?
There are two guards standing outside the Dragon of the Black Pool, and then there's guards just kind of marching around town.
What are they, goblins or?
Yes, they are goblins, hobgoblins, a few variations of goblinoid.
So Bleck is going to, as we walk up on this and we see all of this happening, Bleck is going to shove everyone into the woods right off the side of the road.
Hey!
All right, everyone. Clearly our actions of late have drawn a bit of attention. I, for one, don't want to walk back in here. I think it's a stupid, terrible idea. All who say that we go live in Mold Greg's hovel forever and not come back here.
Nay.
Oh,
We can't live in fear, Black.
you are the most inspiring emo kid I've ever met. Now,
Black girl pair. Come on, let's do this.
I am a lady goblin. I resent that.
I am too.
All right, if we're going to proceed in here, we need to keep a low profile, she says, looking directly at Tobias, right in his face. low
What?
profile.
What do you want from me?
In fact, maybe disguises would be in order.
I mean, I'm wearing a fake beard and everything, so.
So you going to take that off because you're always wearing that fake beard.
Do you have a fake knot beard you could put on?
Over your fake beard. A big fake chin.
If there's no loitering anywhere but the tavern, we're going straight to the tavern. We're going to keep a low profile, try to stay together. I know that Moppet, I know that you've got a bit of a gambling problem. Please try to restrain yourself if you can. Just have one modicum of self-control today.
Okay.
Black, you're no fun. Let's just go in the back door.
Leave it.
Okay.
So as you guys walk up into Nettle, bursting out of the front door of the Dragon of the Black Pool Turtle Cuisine Restaurant and Gambling Hall comes Mack Burton, and he just slams those doors open. The guards are actually taken aback a little bit, and they kind of stand to the side as they watch Mack. You guys, you brought it back! And he sprints straight towards you guys and picks up Tobias, picks up Moppet, and just starts shaking you guys around. Super just elated that you guys brought back the Pork Cart Express. And he goes, oh, thank you guys so much. Oh, what is that smell? The pork went rancid. And he goes through and he starts just like throwing this pork out the back. Why'd you guys even keep this in the cart? And he just starts throwing it off the cart.
Oh, I'm sorry we didn't, include fries with your order too. We were, kind of dealing with some things, death of a loved one and all that, and running your errand. Sorry that this wasn't exactly to your specifications.
He just says, oh, sorry, thank you guys so much for bringing this back. Let me see if I have something around here. And he walks up to the front of the cart and kind of feels down the little side cushions of the cart and finds 2 gold coins and flicks them your direction.
I roll for deftly catching it. 19.
Ooh, you definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah. You pushed Tobias's face out of the way and grabbed the 2 coins.
I do that
out of the air. Does the expression on your face change at all?
No blink. Okay. So Black knows how cool this was, but she, for a 19 roll, she's going to pull off not making a face here. She's walking away from the explosion.
I say, wait a second. That's a good start. Where's the rest?
Like I said, you guys could keep anything you guys could find on the cart. I mean, you can definitely feel around and see if you can find anything more. I mean, there might be something under all that pork.
I think I found 4 wheels. I found a bed. Covering.
Wait now.
I found all kinds of things on the cart.
Okay. Here we go. Are you guys done kind of just doing your helping old ladies cross the street, rescuing cats from trees, all that mission that you guys were talking about, all that mumbo jumbo last time?
Hold on. We need to find out more about this Mack man.
Did you say that out loud?
Dramatic
Yes,
pause.
I did. We'll find out everything there is to know about the Mack man. His dreams, his desires, his most intimate of intimates. And from what I'm looking at, intimate is this stud muffin's middle name. So tell me, my man, are you nervous in the service?
I mean, you're making me very nervous right now. But
I'd like to roll intimidation on Mack Weldon.
okay. Mack is a large human. He seems really gruff. But yeah, go ahead.
1.
Can you describe the scene a little bit for me?
Tammy grabs her Lutacaster and begins strumming, and a string breaks and says, "Give me more money," and trips into a puddle of her own making.
Mack looks at her just like, oh, I'm so sorry, miss. Is it?
I guess so.
I am so sorry. But are you guys done being Boy Scouts?
Who killed Didymus?
Same guy that does everything around here. I mean, he can't sneeze without someone falling over dead. The king. The Goblin King. He's a joke. I've been running weapons into Spider Hunt for the ghosts for seasons now.
The ghosts?
Yeah, you know,
I ain't afraid no ghost.
the rebels, the ones who don't want him to be their king.
There's one more way that you could pay us back, and that's by giving us passage out of here, because clearly these armed guards are looking for someone, and I dare say they may not be too keen to see us, and I would like to be able to make a quick exit.
Give us passage to the ghosts.
I think this conversation might be one better had inside, away from the prying eyes of everyone out in creation. What do you say? Quickly, discreetly, pop inside, find out from Wang Chi what exactly is going on here, and then I would like to make our leave from here post-haste.
Right when you say that, Dad, Fargus, Gammy is right next to you and goes, What are we talking about?
Where have you been?
I'm not deaf. What do you mean, where have I been?
Well, you were here, and then they were just gone.
I guess I do have a little bit of a blank there. I wonder if I can't get away from you. And she's like, this is the weirdest thing. I never noticed it before because I guess we never really parted.
You've been by my side since I was just a little bitty baby.
And she just grabs your arm and goes, oh, well, I'll never leave you, honey boo.
Thank you, Gammy.
All right, if you're done with your fugue state, you mind taking the crazy inside out from away from all the guards?
You guys start heading inside the Dragon of the Black Pool. The guards are just staring at you. One of the guards just says, oh, hold it right there. What's in the cart? Mack walks up. He's like, nothing. You don't want to see what's in there. It is nasty. The guard still goes around and looks inside the cart and just like, and just waves you guys on, lets you guys pass by. He brings the cart around to the backside of the Dragon of the Black Pool, and you guys all walk in the front doors. Inside, it's pretty empty. This is kind of a normal for the Dragon of the Black Pool. There's maybe 2 people inside, including Wang Chi and another person that is just off to the right of everything, off to the right of the fire at one of the gambling tables. Mack walks in. He takes his coat off, puts it right next to the guy that's sitting at the table already. Come on, sit down. Sit down.
Who were you meeting here?
I mean, no one's here but me and Sid.
But who were you meeting here before?
What do you mean?
When you were transporting the goods?
Oh, this is not where we meet. This is just one of my favorite places to stop at on my way into Spider Haunt.
Do the ghosts have a chance?
Here's the deal. I mean, the king is definitely scared of these guys. I mean, he puts a lot of effort into hunting these guys down. And while you guys start talking about this, you hear Wang Chi. He can kind of hear your conversation. He's trying to make a lot of noise by doing like major chopping noises, like ching 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 ching, as he's like trying to cook up some noodles, and he's making a lot of racket so the guards outside don't hear. Because Mack is not a quiet person.
Mack, who are you loyal to?
Who am I loyal to? I'm loyal to Mack Burton. That's who.
Who's that?
He starts talking. Sid is just sitting there quiet. He's a goblin that's pretty much dressed in mostly black, a lot of leather, a couple of knives on his back, and an eye patch. And Sid just looks over at you and winks with his one good eye.
Does it come across as a wink, or does it just look like he's trying to blink, but he's wearing an eye patch? Like, does he really sell that it's a wink with like a jaunty little head nod? Okay. Black is gonna check out the bulletin board where was posted the wanted poster for Didymus.
You walk over to the bulletin board, and where Didymus's face was, I mean, you took that one down, but there are about 5 new ones up, and they all have your faces on them.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, obviously, I tear them all down and stuff them in pockets. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Wang Chi, you turn around, and Wang Chi's right behind you.
Mm-hmm. Ah!
I know. It's quite troubling to see your face on one of those posters. So, what is your plan? What is your next good thing to do?
Be alive tomorrow. That is our plan.
That doesn't sound like Didymus.
Do you see Didymus here? Listen, I am moved by Didymus as much as anyone else, but he is dead. And someone is coming after us now, too. As soon as all of this settles down, we can get right back to being the heroes that the world needs by walking old ladies across streets.
The world needs it now.
Yeah? Well, how are we going to do that if we're dead?
I don't know. Don't do anything with the ghosts. Don't go looking for more trouble.
Well, is there anything around here for us to do?
Well, yes, I've got so many dishes. You guys don't even know. I've got dishes piled in the back for like 3 years.
Mac, I think it's time to go.
Clean dishes is the first step. It's training. You need training. Discipline.
Wax on, wax off.
I'm getting a real Mr. Miyagi vibe.
It's just a discipline. You come back in the back. We'll get started. You guys can finish these dishes in no time. While you guys are standing there and kind of talking to Wang Chi, Mack comes up and just grabs one of those wanted posters out of your hand and just laughs at it. You're not even worth 50 gold. This is just ridiculous. And he crumbles it up and he actually stuffs it in his mouth like a wad of tobacco and just like, you guys ready?
I'm always ready.
I'm sitting over here actually just kind of ignoring everyone else's conversation.
All right, Mac, you lead the way.
And Mack is just like, let's go, boys. And he walks out the front door, kicking them open again. Except this time you hear it hit one of the goblin guards outside. He's like, ha ha ha, got one. And he walks out.
Tobias looks at everybody in the group and then walks out the door after Mac.
Great role play, Sean.
He looks at where Mack went. He longs for Mack. I'm going to go put some cheese on that Mack.
I notice everyone get up and leave, so I follow them.
Okay, so Black pulls out the eye, which is the item that Didymus left her, and she's going to use it and she's just going to say, Didymus, what would you do?
And as you ask for Didymus, the eye does nothing.
Go, great, all right.
Can I go to the back and do some dishes? Dang it, I rolled a 1.
Critical fail, he breaks all the dishes.
Fargus walks to the back, and all you hear in the back is cutscene to the outside of the Dragon of the Black Pool restaurant and cuisine hall, gambling hall.
The dishes are done.
Used to be a restaurant.
Used to be a restaurant. Oh, and outside there's a patrol that's walking around the Dragon of the Black Pool, and it looks like they're starting to pick up pace a little bit and starting to head your way. The two guards that are in front of the Dragon of the Black Pool haven't really noticed. One of them is still kind of rubbing his hindquarters from that door, swinging so fast. Out comes Fargus, kind of making his way towards the cart, a couple of broken dishes in hand. Mack's like, I think we better get going, boys. Looks like it's about time. Woohoo! And looks like Mack has two horses tied up to the cart already. One horse is just like fully clad in this like war horse armor, and the other horse is looks like a little bit like a mule. He definitely has just grabbed them from somewhere around town. You're not exactly sure. And he's like, let's get going, boys. Here we go. And he just starts hitting the reins as hard as he can. Would you, Fargus, like to try to catch the cart?
Yes, and I just rolled a 14.
Plus probably Dex, right?
Yeah,
That'd be a 13.
So Fargus just start. Oh, it was 13? You have a -1 Dex?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. That's still good enough. So you start sprinting, and you barely just make it. You grab one hand of the cart and start pulling yourself up slowly. And Gamby's on the other side pulling, but it's not really helping much. Ambrosius is already in the front seat with Mack, just kind of sitting there, kind of rubbing her head on Mack's shoulder. You guys are on your way to Spider Hunt. It doesn't take long, maybe 10, 20 minutes, and it is like super dark in Spider Hunt. Once again, you're hitting that major tree cover as you get deeper and deeper into the Spider Hunt woods when Mack pulls the cart around and says, all right, boys, we're here. And there's not a clearing. It's just like the path and like a little bit of a like little edge up to the road where there's pretty much like a big rock face, kind of like the side of a cliff that's right next to the road, kind of goes along the road for a while.
What do you mean? Like, we're just...
This is it.
You say that like that means something.
Mack walks over to the cliff face and's looking around it, looks on the ground, kind of shuffles some of the leaves out of the way, and he finds a stone that's about 8 inches kind of protruding from the ground, and goes about 10 feet on the other side and finds another stone that's also about 8 inches off the ground. He's like, all right, I'm going to need one of your guys' help getting this going.
Tammy volunteers her help. She goes, I'm very helpful.
All right, Tammy, what I need you to do is step on that rock.
With my foot.
With your foot.
Stepped.
So as you step, he steps at the same time on the rock that's in front of him. And as you guys do, it doesn't seem like anything happens. He's like, all right, good job. And he walks back to the cart and hops on. And he's like, Tammy, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's do this.
He walks back to the cart and hops on. You follow and hop up. He pulls the horses around and faces them straight towards the cliff face. He looks at you and says, you ready? Before you can answer, he whips the horses. Ha ha! Your hearts race as the cliff gets closer and closer. All of a sudden, you're on the other side, headed down a tunnel at almost a 45-degree angle. The horses are trying their best just to keep their legs under them. You look at Mack and see an unnerving glimmer of crazy in his face, turning your stomachs just a tad as he whips the horses harder and harder to try to get them to move faster. Torches that are placed on the walls speed past you at an alarming rate. Here comes the fun part!
What do you mean the fun part?
The cart rushes through an opening in the tunnel, revealing a deep chasm on both sides of the narrow path. Up ahead, it looks like the path ends with just a hook hanging ominously.
Mack, my man?
Matt gives a chuckle as the goblin Sid pulls a small, unnoticed lever at the side of his seat. The back of the seat where Mac and Sid sit extends upward, and just as they fly over the edge of the path, the cart latches to the hook that was hanging above. The entire cart starts what feels like a freefall, as the hook was actually hooked around a thick zip line. As the cart flies down the zip line, horses dangling, you see the lights of what looks like an entire town, bustling shops lining a main marketplace. You reach the bottom in no time, and the cart just hangs at the bottom of the zip line in the center of the marketplace. Like I told my last wife, honey, I never drive faster than I can see. Besides, that's all in the reflexes. The cart is lowered into the main square, and Mac hops off and walks over to the left side of the cart and gives Moppet a wink and taps twice on the side of the cart. As he does, a large secret compartment opens up, revealing shining blades, crossbows, daggers, and other weaponry.
Holy crap.
All right. Okay, so I figured out what I want from the cart. I'll take one
I
of
said
those.
whatever you could find in the cart. You guys didn't find anything. You guys are suckers. Right when this opens, you see quite a few male goblins, a couple of hobgoblins, and a big bugbear, like pretty much sprint up to the cart and start grabbing weapons from the cart. And Mac's like, whoa, 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 guys, you know the drill. You know the drill. You got to wait for Captain. I got to get my gold. Then you can have whatever you want. And he starts like slapping their hands and kind of putting the weapons right back into the cart. The town itself looks really drab. It's got dark wooden homes, vestibules, a barracks, gloomy rock walls, and it's kind of moist in here. The main thing attracting your eyes is just the sheer amount of women and children here. And most of them look just like half-starved. A few of them look like they maybe haven't been here for very long. There's a meeting hall in the back. There's the crypts, the wolf stables. There's Lekka's quarters to the left, but I wouldn't say go over there. Just leave her alone. And welcome to the rebellion.
Welcome to, I mean, we are in a physical place. I wouldn't say we've joined the rebellion. Also, I've got about 40 questions before where the delicatessen is. Like, who's in charge here?
Person in charge is not necessarily the nicest. Mac Burton! It looks like his balls just jumped up into his body. Like he is
Vivid.
and like his face goes a little stark white. And you see this half orc woman come out from this little tiny little hovel on the side of the marketplace.
Mac Burton, we have been waiting for these supplies for 3 days. What has taken so long?
And she just goes over there and just slaps him straight in the face. He's like, sorry, it was not my fault. It's actually these guys' fault. And he points at you guys. And Lekka just turns to you and says,
What did you do?
Our fault.
We didn't do nothing.
We saved the cart is what we did.
We saved the weapons. And we haven't got a reward yet. A proper reward, anyways.
My fair lady, I assure you, we mean no harm. We are.
You look a little rough for wears yourself.
Well, yes, we've seen hard times of late. This is a tough time to be a traveler out on the road, and we sure appreciate if you'd let us spend some time here, just safely abiding before we move on and carry on to other more peaceful places.
Leka rolls her sleeves up a little bit and gets really, really close to Bleck's face and just kind of stares her down. Bleck, of course, is like 1.5 feet shorter than this, maybe even 2 feet shorter than this half orc. And she stares her down and says,
"Are you looking to join our ranks?"
I mean, would I say that's in my direct line of priorities?
And she just interrupts with a big, and then she moves on to Tobias and says,
"You look like you could definitely fit right in."
Black, look around. Look at all the good we could do here.
she reaches her hand out, wanting to shake.
I'm debating it.
This is a real-time pause that's happening as he just stares fixedly at her hand.
Well, no, I look up at Black again because, Black's the one that... Tobias looks at Black again because Black's the one that's been there with Tobias and Mop at the most, who we left behind. And kind of has an internal struggle of following his advice. Then he shakes her hand.
Good to have you. What did you say your name was again?
Tobias be funky.
And she looks up and down Farkas and just like,
Another half-orc. You look like an interesting character. What is your name?
I'm Fargus Robbo! Quiver, ladies, quiver.
Leka just stares at Fargus for a second and then just moves on.
Now, I need people who I can trust.
You say that, yet you hire this guy to transport your goods?
The people call him Starman for a reason. He allows our hopes and dreams to shine bright like the stars. And he also seems to come from above each time he visits.
Tammy sticks out her hand and goes, Tammy-tinitis, happy to join the rebellion. Let's do this thing.
Nice to have you.
I like you too. I reach in for a hug.
and she just like literally just pushes your face away.
Hello, pretty one.
Yes, I am. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the rebellion. It's nice to have you all. Black, why should I let you in?
I mean, listen, we are more than willing to do what we need to earn our keep here. I mean, we're good at a bunch of things, not so much doing dishes. You shouldn't let us near dishes. I appreciate what you guys are doing here. I personally am not a huge fan of the Goblin King. I understand it's kind of your thing to...
Right when you say that, all the like rebels that are around just and spit on the ground. Like right when you say the Goblin King.
How close are they? Is the spit to me personally?
They didn't spit in your general direction.
Cool. Okay,
it's just
perfect.
like all of them in unison.
Okay. And I appreciate that you're trying to combat him, but you don't even know us. Like we've got our own stuff going on, and if at least sell me on this. What is better ranking up with you guys
Than with the Goblin King?
Everyone
then
spits on the ground
doing
again.
nothing?
Tobias spits, but a moment later.
And it just hangs from his mouth a little bit. It's like
Tammy says, "Can I take this one as my first act in the rebellion, please, ma'am?"
What is it, Miss Tinnitus?
Black, if you're not with us, you're against us. Are you with the Goblin King? Hugh spits.
everybody spits.
Like, would you really leave us?
You guys know that I swore an oath, same as you, to follow Didymus. But I need you all to think about what you're doing. I mean, there are people trying to kill us right now, and you're just going on signing up with the army reserves.
Leka just turns to Mack and she pulls a bag of gold out of her pocket and hands it to him and just says,
Snatch it.
"Now," what? You snatch it in front of him?
Yes.
Okay.
He owes us money.
So you grab the pouch and you say he owes us money?
Yes. No, you owe us money.
And Max says, "I owe you nothing. Not at all." And right when he says that, you kind of see him look up at the cart and he winks. And Tobias, you have a knife at your throat. Black, you kind of you look right behind Tobias and see that it's Sid. Sid is behind Tobias with a knife. This knife looks nasty too, serrated, and like it's one of those like weapons that people kill with just for fun. It's not like a useful weapon. It's just nasty. Like this guy's a little bit messed up.
Tammy points her Ludicaster at Sid and says, "Back off!"
And Lekka, she's like,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's no need for that here. Common enemies and all. Mack, get your man and get him out of here.
Move the knife.
You all go to the meeting hall. Hobart will meet you there and he'll get you squared away.
she looks at Mack, gives him like a nasty look, and just walks off. Sid kind of pulls the knife back, puts it back into its holder, and he doesn't chuckle, but his shoulders kind of do that little like.
Do we get a little wheeze
chuckle
like a
motion?
Hey, I'm gonna take a roll to nut tap Mac with the bag of coins.
a Mack sack?
That's a 13 plus. That's a 16.
What is Max AC on his nuts?
Yeah, you definitely hit his nuts. I mean, the dude's not
But
even wearing
we
any
did
armor.
just find out that his nuts are hiding right now.
Mac just gives. He's like,
They were in his throat
It's
earlier.
true,
Right?
they were up in his body. For real, he does kind of like, oh, that's a good one. I like this kid, and he just slaps you on the back. and Mac puts it back into his jacket and goes back over to the cart and says, "All right, boys, come on in." And those rebels start grabbing weapons off the cart and start hauling them away.
So Black is going to follow after Lekka real quick and catch up and say, all right,
I run up with him.
I can square with a lot of this, and I'm stuck with these goofballs kind of indefinitely, hell or high water. But there's one thing you need to know, and that's that we are committed to a creed. And I've seen lots of people overthrow lots of people and lots of people rise to power, and I've never seen once it be anything that does anything but bad for lots of people and good for the people who have power. So you tell me why it is that we should go ahead and commit ourselves and risk our lives for what you say you're trying to do.
You see those people around. Look at their faces. The so-called Goblin King has taken everything. Everything that they've worked so hard for in this life. That alone can't stand. I'd rather the power be back with the Goblin clans.
All right, well, I'm going to have to think this over. And she turns around and she reaches into her pocket and pulls out the eye and just looks at it, just kind of thinking about all this stuff.
So as you hold the eye, you kind of tighten your grip a little bit. And as you do, you feel kind of like this fondness in your heart. You're not sure necessarily if it's for the people. You're not sure if it's for the rebellion or if it's for Lekka. You're not exactly sure, but you do feel like whatever it is, it's the right thing to be here in this moment.
All right.
So you put away the eye. Lekka keeps walking. Tobias, did you want to say something to her?
Yeah, Lekka.
She stops. She doesn't even turn around, but she does stop.
Now you listen here. We go by a creed. And if you send us on something that just has us killing people for no reason, we won't be a part of this anymore.
You have a lot to learn still, young one. There's lots of grey in this world. Lots of grey.
And she walks off. As she does, you guys turn around and see the cart is just stripped bare. Like there's nothing left. Not even that putrid meat that was in the back. Like
Oh, no.
people are starving, so
They're
they've
going
been
to die
grabbing
from the butt,
They've
though.
been grabbing whatever they can. And Mac's just sitting there like counting coins in his hand. This guy is super, super happy right now. And Sid is kind of tying up and making sure all the knots and everything on the horses are ready to go so that they can get out of there as fast as possible. Well, boys, it was good meeting you. Hope not to see you soon. And he hops back up on the cart and starts to get the reins ready.
Likewise.
I'd like to cast Dissonant Whispers on one of the horses.
Okay. What is it
It
again?
needs to make a wisdom saving throw. I'm gonna play a dissonant guitar chord. This is gonna be very difficult for me as a master guitarist. Dissonant Whispers.
My 7 is not going to beat it. So what does that do?
It does 3d6 psychic damage, but I'm really more concerned about it trying to get away from me as quickly as possible so that the cart just races off in the opposite direction of me. But it does do 10 psychic damage.
10 psychic damage. So the war horse, just raises up, and it is freaking out, and it starts just moving back and forth, hitting the Zorse next to it, knocks it down to its knees. It rips itself off of the cart, but just enough to where it's just a little bit hanging on, and he starts pulling the cart sideways. That cart just falls over to the side with Mack and Sid inside, and they're like, "Whoa!" And right when the cart hits the side, the warhorse just sprints. And everyone, it's quiet. It is completely quiet in this town central. The gold that he had in his pouch has kind of spilled out across the ground, and people are starting to run up and starting to grab gold pieces.
Get the gold! Get the gold!
And Mack's like, no. And he's like trying to scoop it up as fast as he can as he crawls on his hands and knees. And he just looks at you, and he's like so mad.
I say, sorry, I think I need to tune my lute. A little out of tune. Is this better? That's what I was going for.
That was a good.
Would you guys like to head over to the meeting hall?
Yes.
Yeah.
My work
Huzzah.
here is done.
So as you're heading to the meeting hall, you're passing by all these kind of like vendors. Definitely weird vendors that you wouldn't kind of normally see in the outside world. I mean, there's your basics, your fine linens, and your like different cuisines and random things like that. But there's also what looks like a venom trader, poisons and the like. There's a guy who has like various skins mounted up around his little area, and this dude looks like a freak. He's definitely wearing some nasty looking skin himself. And these guys don't necessarily look like they're part of the rebellion, but it does look like they are definitely making a pretty penny on the rebellion.
I see how much he would give me for my flesh perfume.
So you walk up to the skin trader.
Yes.
The skin trader looks at you and just has this huge Joker-esque smile where he's definitely cut his mouth to where his just smile is huge. And he's like, "Welcome. What can I do for you, kid?" His hand just kind of like reaches out and like kind of grabs your shirt and pulls you in.
Well, let go of me. I slap his hand. I slap his hand with my spearhead. Just, I have this flesh perfume that I thought you might be interested in.
Let me see it. And you pull it out and kind of unscrew the vial a little bit. And as you do, that flesh smell kind of comes out, and he goes, "Oh, that might work pretty well on some of my skins. That might keep some of them a lot more fresh than I was able to do myself. What you looking for? Trade?
What do you have to trade?
Pick your skin." And you look behind, and there's like
gold.
Creatures' faces, like
Gold. Shut up. Gold.
Don't pick it. It will scar.
how about 15 silver?
I thought I just said gold.
1 gold.
No. Can I roll to haggle him up?
Isn't it 15 silver, 1.5 gold? Is that how
Yeah,
the scale?
right.
Okay.
Yeah, he just went down.
Oh, I have no idea what the scale is. So
It's like a dime, right? Gold is a dime.
10 copper.
Coppers are like the
pennies.
decimals.
Sean, would you like to roll some persuasion?
I mean, gold's worth more than silver, right?
Yes. Would you like to roll
Okay.
persuasion?
Yeah, I'll roll persuasion. Huzzah! That is 11 plus, what's my persuasion?
It's like plus 12, I think.
Your
That's 11.
persuasion.
Plus 0.
Plus 0. He doesn't really look to be fazed by it, but he definitely likes that you're trying to haggle him. He's like, okay. 2 gold, and we got yourself a deal.
4 gold.
4?
4 gold.
Oh, for a
And we have a
moisturizer? I do need it, so... All right, deal. And he reaches out his hand, and his hand has like these like weird talon things that he's kind of sewn on, and like it you don't really want to shake it, but he's like, deal. And he's like holding his hand.
I like barely outstretch like 2 fingers, and like I just barely grab it at the tips of my fingers, like my 2 fingers and my thumb, like just shake it a little bit.
Is this thing a goblin or like a?
This is actually a human. and he pulls out the 4 pieces of gold and hands it to you.
The scariest monsters are humans.
The rest of you are still heading towards the meeting hall. Tobias starts trying to catch up a little bit, and you guys.
Are there any jewelers around?
There are. There is one jeweler, but it looks like a lot of his stuff he's got behind like this kind of cage, as he doesn't seem to trust very many people. But he's just sitting off to the side, arms crossed, and sees you walking up. Hey, you looking for some jewels for your lady? Come on in.
Well, actually, I already have some women's jewelry.
He said in a
The fancy
creepy
sort,
voice.
are we? The fancy sort. All right. I don't mind that. I got some myself. He shows his hand, and his hand is full of rings. And he's like, all right, let's do this. What you got?
Well, I'm looking to sell.
Okay, show me what you got.
Okay, I show him my women's jewelry, but you didn't specify exactly what it was.
Yeah,
so it says
I
women's
know what
jewelry.
it is. Cool. Well, that's definitely some women's jewelry. I mean,
Oh, yes. Oh, perfect.
it's not the most precious stuff, but sure, I'll take it.
What are you going to offer me for
I
it?
don't know. You want to trade? I got some pretty good stuff back here.
It's lacy, and it's satiny, and it's silky.
I got some stuff other than jewels in the back. If you want for trade, I can definitely give you some interesting things. Maybe some magical
All right,
items.
let's go look at it.
So he brings out a wine bottle. He's like, "This is my first choice," and kind of points it towards you and shows you the label. All it says on it is "not wine." And he says, "Check this out. This can come in handy in any of those highway cop chases. You throw it out the back. It's called the oil of slipperiness. Get him right off your tail."
All right, what else?
How? So no, you don't like that.
He's trying to sell you a bottle of homemade lube?
Homemade.
and something silky and satiny.
This is the worst bazaar.
So he's like, okay, I know exactly what you want. And he walks down to the back, and you hear him kind of like rustling up some gear in the back, and he comes out and he has these 2 slippers that are completely white, and he hands it to you. He's like, this is what you need. These are slippers of spider climbing.
You can climb so many spiders in those.
And I see your face.
Yes, I want those.
He's like, all right, but you do, this isn't completely an even trade, so you will have to pay a little bit along with your jewels.
Well, I have one more thing.
Oh, okay.
And this thing is worth a lot. It's a dwarven bone pendant.
Trying to bone me. All right.
He brought the not wine.
He totally just has like no understanding of what this is.
Can I roll to I'm going to roll persuasion to kind of build up how awesome it is.
Okay.
Okay, I rolled a 17.
So you're saying it's awesome.
Yes, it's this amazing, intricate
Okay.
carven bone pendant.
I'll definitely take that off your hands. Give me the jewels, that pendant, and you got yourself a deal.
All right, deal.
So you get a pair of delicate slippers, white slippers, to add to your inventory. The slippers of spider climbing do exactly what it sounds like, and you are able to scale up walls. You leave the vendor's vestibule and head to the meeting hall with the rest. You guys walk into the meeting hall, and a tall hobgoblin with a peg leg turns around and just looks at you for a second and doesn't say anything, and then kind of just stomps his feet a couple times and says,
Come in.
He looks at all of you, but his eyes rest on Bleck for a second longer than everyone else, and he hobbles up with his peg leg up to you, Bleck, and says,
Do my eyes fail me? It is good to see you again, Grackles. Clamp Grackles, I'll be. I never thought I'd see the likes of you again.
I I think you might be mistaken, sir. I'm sorry. I'm new to these parts. Is there anyone else who can?
A messenger runs in with a note and hands it to Hobart.
It looks like they've sent over each of your names. There's a smiley face next to Tobias. You must have really caught Lekka's eye. We have Vargas, Tobias, Tammy, Moppet, and, Black.
Black is going to take the journal, and she's going to intimidate and say, listen, again, I don't know if you're misremembering a situation or something where we might have crossed paths in the past, but I really don't appreciate, I don't know if you've noticed recently, but we are in kind of desperate, troubling times, and I don't like you going around shouting my friends' names, so I need you to tune it down.
My apologies, madam. I must have thought you were someone else. Now, where was I? 5 brave souls. I hope you've packed plenty of luck and good wishes. You will need it. Just one last test for you.
Fine, let's hear it.
Tammy puts her pen away and goes, "Oh, so no paperwork? I got my pen all ready for nothing."
Let's do this. I'm so ready.
Tammy disappointingly puts her pen away and goes, I guess I'm ready now.
He looks over at a goblin to the left, and this goblin's sitting just right next to this, what looks like a big old lever, and he says,
Saltlick, you may pull the lever.
And you guys fall through the floor and start to make a tumble and land. It's not super far. You guys actually do this little slide thing. You all end up on this like Goonies cave slide into this opening where all these rebels are looking down at you guys from above. And in the middle of this little area is 4 what look like the King's Guard. And they are all in their armor. They all have their swords and weaponry. And they look like they've been beaten up a little bit. They've been definitely, they're looking a little worse for wear. But from up above, you hear Hobart say,
Your last test, kill these King's Guard.
So that's the episode. We haven't done this before, but we're going to start pointing everyone to some social media. If you'd like to get in contact with us, if you'd like to be a part of the show, the best way to do that is to actually go and rate and review. Everyone that rates and reviews and then sends us an email at doomedcast@gmail.com will be entered into a drawing in order to appear in the episode. Originally, we were not going to do anything like this. We were going to keep it very simple, maybe do names or help us do stuff with the episode. But we love the idea of possibly getting someone on here as a special guest. So if you would like to be a special guest on We're All Doomed, please go rate, review, and leave us a nice little comment about We're All Doomed. Other than that, the way to get a hold of us, social media-wise, is at DoomedCast on Twitter. You can also find our Facebook page, We're All Doomed, on Facebook. I think it's also the facebook.com/DoomedCast. So we'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for listening to We're All Doomed.